Welcome back to Understanding Human Anatomy and our discussion of the perineum. In the previous video, we talked about the boundaries of the perineum, and we talked about the pelvic diaphragm composed of levator ani and coccygeus. Then we talked about the anal triangle and described the structures in the anal triangle. These next videos will be discussing the urogenital triangle. I want to start by talking about the male urogenital triangle, and I'll begin by drawing in the boundaries of the perineum. We'll draw the os cocci in both sides, the ischial tuberosity, and the obturator foramen. Here, like so. Sketch in the pubic symphysis. Draw in the sacrum and coccyx, and again the tip will be the coccyx, and then we'll need to draw in the sacrotuberous ligament, like so, and we'll need to sketch in the two tubes passing through the male perineum, the urethra and the anus, like so. Now we'll sketch in the perineal body right here, and I just want to draw in a midline raphe where the right and left muscles of the pelvic diaphragm meet. And what I'm going to do is just use some shading to represent the pelvic diaphragm. So we'll have it here in blue, and we'll draw some fibers in to represent the fibers of levator ani. Like so. Now, in the urogenital triangle, we have a layer of muscle, and these are thin muscles, but they lie just superficial to the pelvic diaphragm, and they are known collectively as the urogenital diaphragm. And we'll draw the first one in, and I'm going to use purple for this muscle. And it's a left and right muscle. And it takes origin from the the symphysis pubis and the inferior pubic ramus, and inserts on a midline raphe. Let me redo the raphe here. And this muscle is the sphincter urethrae. And its fibers are running transversely. Like so. So this is the sphincter urethrae. And it is in purple. Then just posterior to the sphincter urethrae is another muscle and it also is running transversely. And I want to sketch it in here. And we'll color in this muscle. And this is the deep transverse perineus muscle. It takes origin primarily from the ischioramus, and again it inserts on a midline raphe, and we'll just emphasize that raphe. Emphasize the perineal body right here. And we'll draw some lines in to indicate the direction of the muscle fibers. And again, this is a transverse muscle. Its fibers are running transversely, like so. And to be perfectly honest, the deep transverse perineus and the sphincter urethrae appear almost as if they are one muscle. There is a slight separation between the two that can be seen if you dissect very carefully. So again, this is the deep transverse perineus. If there's a deep transverse perineus muscle, there must also be a superficial transverse perineus muscle. And indeed there is one. It takes origin from the ischial tuberosity. And is a spindle-shaped muscle. I'll sketch in the other one. And it takes origin from the ischial tuberosity and inserts into the perineal body. And we'll put some lines in here to indicate the fibers of this muscle. Like so. So this is the superficial transverse peroneus muscle. Right here. And together, these three muscles make up the urogenital diaphragm. And they provide a little strengthening to the pelvic diaphragm and some more control over the urethra. Now, we also have erectile bodies. What I want to do is draw in the two corpora cavernosa, which are the dorsal erectile bodies of the penis. And they are each anchored to the ischiopubic ramus by their crura. So let me draw in the crura first. And then out onto the erectile body. And on the other side, like so. And we'll color them in. These are the corpora cavernosa and their crura. And let me draw lines to these structures. Corpora cavernosa, which go out into the body of the penis, and the crura, which anchor the corpora cavernosa to the ischiopubic ramus. There is another erectile body in the penis, a ventral one, that contains the male urethra. That is the corpus spongiosum, and its anchoring structure, the bulb. And I'm drawing that in yellow. And I'm trying to color it in right here. And we have to remember that the urethra runs through the corpus spongiosum. The urethra is actually surrounded by the corpus spongiosum. So these structures we'll label. The corpus spongiosum, and the bulb. Now, there are two more muscles associated with the erectile bodies. And we'll sketch those in brown. And we have paired muscles around the crura. And these muscles I'm going to draw wrapping around each of the crura. And these muscles are the ischiocavernosus muscles. And again, these are paired muscles. One on each of the crura. And then wrapping around the bulb we have the bulbal spongiosus muscle. I'm drawing in as these lines so as not to obscure the bulb itself. This is the bulbal spongiosus muscle. And since the bulb is a midline structure, there is only one of these muscles. It's not paired. We'll draw that in here. So that you can see in the urogenital triangle, we have the urogenital diaphragm composed of sphincter urethrae, deep transverse perineus, and superficial transverse perineus. We have the two crura attaching to the ischial-pubic ramus and giving rise to the corpora cavernosa, the dorsal erectile bodies in the penis. And then we have a ventral erectile body, the corpus spongiosum, and its anchor called the bulb. And the bulb and the corpus spongiosum contain the male urethra. We have the paired ischiocavernosus muscles that surround each of the crura, and they function to squeeze the crura to force blood out of the crura and into the corpora cavernosa, thus increasing the potency of the erection. And then we have the bulbal spongiosus muscle, which wraps around the bulb, and when it contracts, it will squeeze the bulb and the urethra, and it aids in ejaculation. In the next video, I want to do a section similar to what we did through the anal triangle, this time passing through the urethra, so we can see the layers of fascia that we have here in the urogenital triangle. Thank you for your attention.